Right.
Hey guys, I'm here interviewing my aunt who's a teacher. Could you introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Kristy R, and I am a teacher, like Averie said, at a university. So,
Okay, so my first question is, what do you teach?
well, I teach several things. I said I teach at a university, and I've been doing that for a few years. I've done it at a few different universities, but currently I'm teaching at Averie University. So I teach applied voice lessons, which means that students come to me one-on-one and they learn about vocal techniques, anatomy, and all of the performance techniques that we like to teach people in the upper levels of teaching voice lessons.
My second question is, how is online teaching for you during COVID?
Well, we started the semester in person, which a lot of universities did, and then we ended up switching back to virtual. So teaching voice lessons virtually has been a challenge because when I teach my students, I play piano for them when I teach them. So we perform together. We can't do that because there's a delay on all video platforms. So we had to make recordings. I would make recordings on my end of the lesson that we would be doing, send them to them virtually. Then they would play that recording on their end and sing with it. So then I would have to watch them, hear them as much as possible, and then give them feedback as I went along.
So my third question is, what is challenging about teaching this way?
In-person teaching is where I excel, and I think my students excel too, but I've been teaching for over 20 years. So in-person one-on-one teaching is what I love to do, but of course we can't do that right now. Our industry was basically shut down. If you're 6 feet from someone and you're just talking, then you spread the virus less than you would with your singing and your projection and everything else. We would have had to stand 20 feet from each other to be able to do this safely. So our industry was impacted a whole lot by this in music and singing, but the biggest challenge of being a university teacher is definitely not being able to be in person.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and my last question I have is, what was teaching like before COVID happened?
Teaching before COVID happened, students would come into the house and we would have a 30-minute to an hour lesson, and we would go through all the techniques, the performance techniques, prep them for auditions, and just basically be able to make music together in person and synchronously. That was what it was like beforehand. Same thing with my university students. I would go to campus, meet them in my office. They would come in and we would talk all things voice technique and learn as much as we could in person.
Okay, thank you for joining me today. That's all I have for today's interview. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't. Just good luck on the rest of your school year, and you did a good interview.
Thank you. Bye, guys.